Good morning, folks. It is a beautiful morning here in northern Utah. It's about 22 degrees right now and rising. Sun's coming up. It is awful bright out here, so I'm sure it's going to get a little bit warmer. But I've got something that I'm really excited that I want to show you guys today. I just got back. I drove about 7 hours one way to pick up this machine that I am about to show you guys. And it is this guy right here. It is what I believe is a 2006 Skandic super wide track with the 550 fan-cooled engine. If you look on the manufacture date right down here, it says 2004. So 2005, I guess. I hope the parts are interchangeable, because I thought that said 2005 the last time I checked, and I just ordered a bunch of parts for this thing. So, fingers crossed. But anyway, this machine's pretty sweet. I picked this up, you're not going to believe it, for a whole $50. And when I got it, it was buried under a tree. I had to drag it out. Wasn't sure if it was running or not, but for $50, who really cares? So, picked it up, drove it home, brought it back here, and believe it or not, it was actually very easy to get it running. Just cleaned the carb jets out and threw some fresh fuel in it, pre-mixed fuel, because if you look in here, this guy was bone dry when I got it. I put some in there thinking the oil pump system worked, but the oil lines are actually not connected to anything, because this right here is the oil line, and as you can see, it is melted shut. So that's not good. It's not supposed to be like that. There's supposed to be a hose that runs down underneath the carburetors to pump this thing full of two-stroke oil so it doesn't combust. But I'll just pre-mix it for now until I figure that whole situation out. But anyway, this thing is in pretty rough shape, hence the $50 price tag that I paid for this thing. As you can see, the seat has seen better days. It's going to need a whole lot of duct tape, probably. The front end, really mangled. Looks like it smacked something, probably somewhere over here. Tweaked the whole front end in. Surprisingly enough, though, the skis are actually pretty straight. I don't think that the actual steering system is bent, which is pretty awesome, but I might try to like winch that out or something, depending on how far we get with this thing. But as you can see, it's got these massive skis on it. They're about 8 inches wide, I think. And the even wider part of this machine is this super wide track, which is actually the name of it. It's, super wide track. I think that's kind of funny. 24 inches, crazy wides, tons of flotation. And for reference, this here is a 2002 Skandic wide track. And this has a 20-inch wide track, which is super wide still. But nothing compared to this guy here. It's pretty impressive. And for another reference point, this here is a 98 440 Touring. Way wider track. It's almost twice as wide on that guy over there, which is pretty awesome. So I'm really excited to test this thing out in some deep snow. Haul some stuff with it. Back here, this is kind of interesting. We got a trailer hitch in this big rack. So I don't know if they must have been hauling some goosenecks or something with it, probably a grooming implement. It must have been heavy because it bent this whole guy out, but that was its past life. Don't think we'll be using that, but it's kind of funny. I'll probably leave it. It has about 5,000 miles on it, which is surprisingly pretty low for a machine this old. And just ready to start its new life. It's got all sorts of these weird switches on it. I don't know what any of them do. Probably won't find out because there's just a bunch of wires hanging around, and I'm probably going to rip them all out because I won't be really hauling any weird implements or anything like that on it. It'd be cool to have a winch on it maybe. But there's some really quirky things going on in this engine. So normally, as you can see, no starter. So that's cool. No electric start, but it pulls over easy enough. Like I was already talking about with that oil injection system, it is non-existent. So as of right now, I'll have to pre-mix the fuel here. Another fun thing is the lack of exhaust elbow that is right there. That is not cool. Kind of makes for a little foot heater right here, which for better or worse, all the exhaust just kind of comes out of here and all over the other vents. Keeps your right foot warm. Be nice if it was on both sides, but that's obviously not going to happen. So I'm going to have to get that fixed. Under seat storage is full of a bunch of garbage, but some goodies, you know, like there's some wire cover here that I'll probably use. But this is that elbow that is supposed to be on the exhaust. It's just kind of nice that I have it, because I'll just be able to get that welded back on after I clean it up and get it off. Some other things, if we come around to the other side here, the belt is on backwards, which is really cool. This rotation arrow is going that way. That's supposed to go that way. Easy enough fix, but you know, you got to take the air box off and stuff to loosen the secondary clutch, which is a bit of a pain, but not too bad. And now the really cool thing about these Skandics, both of these alike, is this big box that is hanging off the side of the clutch here. And this is actually a transmission, which is what makes these machines really cool. So it actually has a gear system, unlike a regular snowmobile with just has a CVT clutch. This has a transmission hook to it. So I've got like a first and second gear, kind of like a low range, and a reverse gear. So you don't have to worry about killing the motor and starting it back up in reverse to get your reverse to work, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, this thing is crazy wide. It is wild to sit on. If you could see, my legs are way apart on this thing. It is not a trail cruiser, but it's surprisingly comfortable to ride despite the lack of suspension that this thing's got. These just big gas shocks. I don't even know if they're gas shocks, but they're big and they're beefy. These things are kind of just designed to float on top of snow. Huge belly pan with almost nothing to catch underneath there. In the real deep snow, or at least on this older Skandic here, with less wide skis, you get into snow that's over kind of even 6 to 8 inches, and it just rides on the belly pan. And so this thing provides so much float. It stays on top of the snow, great for breaking trail, hauling loads through it. It's pretty amazing. And yeah, so I'm gonna try to get this thing to fire up. It's awful cold out here this morning, and see if she can fire, and you guys can hear what she sounds like. All right, see how this thing does on its first voyage around the block. This is a little annoying. We're gonna have to raise half of this seat here. Does not cut the engine out, so that's interesting. Guess you have to use the kill switch, but the real beauty of these machines is that ability to really slow crawl, as you saw when I was backing it in here. It's really an awesome thing to be able to do. Unlike some other sleds like this 440 that we've got here hiding under this cover. I'll show you. It's a pretty sweet little machine here. That thing just wants to rip. You get on the throttle, you gotta get the RPMs up way high to get it to go, and then it wants to rip. This guy is totally cool going 5 miles an hour, which is rare for snowmobiles. For anybody that rides snowmobiles, very few like to go 5 miles an hour. Unlike these two guys here with that load gear, it really makes a world of difference here. But I've got my work cut out for me on this guy. It needs a lot of work, as you can imagine. The car boots need to be replaced. The whole thing just needs to be cleaned out. It's kind of disgusting. Do the gearbox flush on this guy. Probably switch that belt around. I guess that would be a good idea to do. And really just give it a once over. And then this thing is going to be an absolute workhorse. And I'm really excited to see what it can do with that super wide track and kind of test out the differences between the two. See how much better that extra 4 inches provides. And that fan motor rather than the liquid cooled one, which is pretty awesome. But if you guys want to see me work on this thing and follow along, I'll probably document some of it. And stay tuned for any of that. Thanks for watching.